soon as we got here, we dropped out a live bunker, and I hooked up a fish. I don't know. I haven't seen how big he is. He's racing all over the place. Size of guy. He looks a little skinny, Rich.
Yeah, he does.
You know?
Wow, nice fish.
There we go.
That might be a little better.
Oh, that fish is screaming, Rick.
Wow.
You're watching Northeast Angling. We're proud to present inshore and offshore saltwater fishing. We cover every species from fluke and porgies to stripers, sharks, and tuna. You can learn more about techniques, tackle, and destinations at neangling.com. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
We have a beautiful day. Wind's blowing a little bit. We're here. It's mid-September.
When is it the wind blowing?
For whatever reason, whenever we want to fish or do something, you know the wind's up. But this time we're in the right neck of the woods. We're in the Western Sound. We're going to be out of the wind a little bit. We're doing something a little different today. We got a fishing tournament. Comes out of Oyster Bay, which is where we are right now. We're here with Samantha Marino. She's a full-time mate on American Sport Fishing Charters. Fishes with her dad. Really frequent show guest. Catches a lot of fish, and you know we probably picked a very sharp Western Sound angle, a little bit of advantage.
You know, John has had a lot of success in these tournaments, and I think every time he's had success in the tournaments, Sam's been on the hook. So, you know, I'm kind of thinking that maybe it was Samantha or not John. We'll see.
Well, I got a sneaking suspicion
Samantha,
that
we
could
got
be
a
the
lot
way.
of fishing in store for us. You've been out quite a bit lately, and you know, we're looking at you as the local pro now because you've been on the beat. So, what do you got in store for us?
Well, we're looking in Oyster Bay right now. We're looking to find some bait to go fishing. And then we might head over to Hempstead Harbor and look over there.
That's where the Bluefish bite's been?
Yeah.
What's that bite been like over there? Is it going to be a jigging bite or?
A lot of it's been tap water.
Oh, okay.
Like
So you're
throwing plugs, throwing some jigs.
And jigging? See, now all these boats behind us, they're going out to fish this tournament, and we're going in.
Yeah.
But what we're doing, like Andy said, is we're going back in the back Oyster Bay. We got a report that there was some bunker back there, and live bunker is always great to have, right?
Right.
All right, so we're going to get this done right now. What do you think?
All right, and who's throwing the net? Are you going to throw the net, or we're going to make Rich do it?
Samantha can throw the net, but
She
I'll
can throw a
do
big net.
I'll do it for this one. We'll keep her dry. How's that?
All right, so we'll move around and let's just get a look. We'll all spot. We're not going to see a lot of bait here. Let's all be spotters. Rich, you got the wheel, and Samantha and I, we're going to go spot.
Let's go.
Samantha's hooked up already. And we're drifting here in about, what depth we got here, Rich?
About 6.5, 7 feet of water, Andy.
It's kind of shallow. And Samantha, how's that fish feel?
Seems like a pretty decent fish.
All right, so I'm going to get that down.
You know, it's, again, you know, you try to fish where the bait is. And we've seen a lot of bait back here. We made a throw with the net. We put 30, 40 pieces away.
Oh, yeah, not a bad fish.
That's a decent fish, Sammy.
Was this water pretty dirty looking? Yeah, I got it. Just working in here.
It's not a bad start, Sam. Oh, actually, bonus stroke right in the net. That's not a bad start.
That isn't too shabby.
Yep,
And that's on the single hook rig. And basically what we did was we hooked up a bunker. How do you like to hook them? I know that you have your own style here, and you hooked this one up. How did you have this set up?
I had it behind the dorsal, more towards the back.
More towards the back, and that lets you steer them a little bit.
Well, I'm going to say one thing, Andy, and you know what? We look at bluefish all the time, and generally, you know, people can say I got a 37 or a 38-inch bluefish. When it comes to bluefish, the weight determines the back, the shoulders, and the stomach. This fish has been feeding.
Yeah.
It's a pretty solid fish.
And you know what? This is probably about a 10-pound fish, maybe 9 to 10 pounds. We might want to keep this for a little bit, you know?
See if we get anything with it.
No matter what, we have homes for all these fish.
Most definitely.
And one of the things we're going to do is we're going to put it in some water and try not to let it bleed out too much.
I believe also the tournament, what they do is whatever fish are weighed in and kept, they give to, I believe, a poorhouse.
Okay.
Is what they do with the fish.
So somebody gets these fish either way.
Which good idea, right, Sam?
Yes, it is.
Welcome aboard, Ken.
Nice start. All right, let's get this one put away, and then we'll get set up again. One of the rigs we have set up here is Rich is using a snagging treble, some fire line, and a spinning reel. What he's doing is throwing that treble into the bait, waits till he feels a little tick on that line, takes a swing, he's trying to hook up a fish, he's gonna let it lay right in the water. Right next to right where he snags it, and you have all that vibration, just like this one is right here. He's gonna hold the rod up, and he's got one picked up right now. He's got his bait set up. Now this is a great technique for working a bunker school. We got a little too much wind, we can't anchor, the bunker moving all over the place. We just kind of snag a bait and just set it up into the school.
I'm gonna slide back myself. Take him off the stern.
Okay, and I'm gonna switch places with you.
Visit the Northeast Angling website at neangling.com for nationwide saltwater charter directory, fishing news, and free fishing reports. You can also find dozens of techniques, tips, and tackle for every saltwater species. Now let's get back to the action.
You know, Sam, I noticed when you fish with your dad also, you like to fish a lot of light tackle, 30-pound mono, 10-pound test braid with the plugs and the spinners. Why is it a lot different when you fish in tournament?
Because when you're fishing tournament, you have to be able to stop the fish. You have to be able to have that teeth protection so that fish does not like cut off your line, because sometimes you'll lose the biggest fish of the day by having it bite through.
Look at the environment we're fishing here too. We're fishing along pylons, swimming live bunker. And you said you go up to 50-pound test mono when you're fishing tournaments like this.
Because you could always lose it on the piles, the rocks, anything.
And then, a lot of times, I know you guys diamond jig, you also diamond jig with 50 as well. And there, I guess, you have the advantage. You basically don't have to put a leader on, gives you a little more tooth protection.
Right.
I know that you like different weights on your diamond jigs. Is there something in particular you like to use for the tournaments? I know you have a whole pile.
Well, not in particular. Usually we use size 6 diamond jigs.
Like a 6-ounce jig?
Yeah, something kind of big, but not too big.
Something's going to get you down, probably the size of a good, half of an adult bunker at that point.
Yeah.
You use a couple of different methods with the diamond jig also, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
We use yo-yoing, which is you drop the jig all the way to the bottom. Yeah, you just keep going.
That can be pretty tiring sometimes, too.
Yeah.
There's nothing around.
And then we have squidding, which is you go all the way to the bottom, take up a couple fast turns, like 5 times, drop it back down. Keep doing that.
You're constantly looking at that machine also, right? Get an idea how deep the fish are.
Try to see how deep they are, where they are, if they're on the bottom, in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Well, I know, Samantha, in the early season, you guys really focus on the bass, and then gradually we get more and more bluefish in here. When do you usually find your best, like, tournament quality bluefish starting to show up?
Late June, early August, starting with some big blues.
And then,
getting bigger.
How long do you keep them at that point? When do you think that bite just about ends?
It depends sometimes on how the weather is. It can go all the way through August, September.
Yeah, and then
end of September.
And then gradually those fish start moving out of here.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes we can get another shot in the late fall.
You get a lot of fish coming down from the Cape, I think, also. You see them fish when we're jigging, and you'll see some big ones. I mean, how many times we've been out diamond jigging small schoolie bass and have a bluefish come up and whack one in half. That happens also. I mean, they're a tough, strong fish. So, like you said, you want to gear up the right way for them and you want to do the right thing. Sam, you made a point before when we were diamond jigging that I found to be so important. We were diamond jigging and we were catching, 3 to 6 pound or 4 to 8 pound fish. And what did you say?
It was time to move on. You can't stick with the 6-pound fish when you're trying to tournament fish. You got to get into the 15s, even the 12s, try to win some money.
I agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more. I say, it's not a matter of who can catch the most fish. It's a matter of who can catch the right fish.
Right.
I mean, you can go out and you can catch, 40, 50, 60, sometimes 70 bluefish in a day. But what good is that going to do you if not one is over, 7 or 8 pounds, right?
Right.
So you just keep bouncing on, right?
I think of it as like a trap almost. It's like a numbers trap. You get into this school of really good numbers of fish, and you find it hard to leave. But the bottom line is, if you're pulling 4 to 8 pound fish for an hour, probably going to see the same 4 to 8 pound fish in the next hour. You know, we got to change something up.
Like, what size fish are you looking for, Sam? I mean, to get an idea. I mean, if you pull a fish around 11, 12 pounds, you're going to stay with that body of fish.
I'm definitely going to stay with that body of fish because when you have the 12-pound fish, eventually, or right then, there's 15-pound fish with them right next to them.
That's a great point.
The big fish are all together.
Yeah, they usually don't. You get a couple of rogues every now and then, I see. But for the most part, them fish are generally size class pretty close together, right?
Basically, yes.
What's your favorite technique to fish for these fish?
I think my favorite technique would be trolling, definitely.
For the tournaments or in general?
For tournaments.
The tournaments, Andy, what do you think our favorite, I'll take a guess, but what do you think our favorite way to catch these fish is?
Well, I'm figuring that she loves to be plugging like the rest of us.
That's what I was going to say. Now, what do you normally plug with?
I plug with Oyster plugs, topwater plugs.
And you're using the braided lines? What are you using?
Braided line.
Okay, light Stratix, right?
Yes, light.
And now, you know, we're tournament fishing now. So what do you change when you tournament fish? What do you do different?
Well, go a little heavier on the gear, gives you a little more security, a little more tooth resistant.
Nice. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Be able to stop. Sure. Be able to stop the fish.
All right. Well, that's obviously important. Like normally, you said you fish with 30-pound mono. What pound test mono would you go up to now?
50.
You go to 50.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know, and that's something I kind of picked up from you and your dad, you know, many years ago, is that I was probably fishing these tournaments just a little too light. And sometimes, you know, you can hook the right fish. You can lose the right fish, too.
Yeah. Well, you know, like you said, Sam, light tackle is fun. It's a blast. There's nothing more fun than catching a big fish on light tackle. But when you need to get a fish to the boat, you want to gear up for it, right?
You want to be able to get it. You don't want to have that light gear and then just lose it to one really big fish that could win you all that money.
Now, also, when you get a fish to the boat, these bigger fish, during a tournament, you net them.
Yes.
Right? You don't gaff these fish during a tournament? Why don't you gaff them during a tournament?
I don't gaff them because when you gaff, it loses the blood. And it loses a lot of the weight.
See, now that's a point that people should really pay attention to.
I see a lot of people in tournament fishing gaff fish. I want to go back to something you said before. You talked about trolling. I know you guys have been making some changes the last couple of years. What do you like to troll nowadays?
Now we started trolling the bunker spoons, secret spoons.
Yeah, and what do you find the advantage there?
You can get to different depths with them. They look a lot natural, better presentation.
Okay. You know, we always used to pull big bucktails. I'm never quite sure what they look like, but we know what bunker spoons look like.
Yes.
Well, we just pretty much exhausted this spot out. I think our game plan is probably to head back towards Oyster Bay. We ran down to the west here looking for some bigger fish. So we head back up to Oyster Bay where that bait was, see if we see a couple schools on top on the way there. And if we mark them down deep, we'll jig them. And if we mark them on top,
we'll plug them.
All right, let's do it.
Visit the Northeast Angling YouTube channel for hundreds of videos, including full-length episodes, exciting clips, product reviews, and instructional videos. And now, the exciting conclusion of Northeast Angling.
Real big fish right there. He's there. He's got it. Watch his help fish. Oh.
You've got your fill. You're in. You're in. You're in.
Well, we moved into another spot here. And as soon as we got here, we dropped out a live bunker. And I hooked up a fish. I don't know. I haven't seen how big he is. He's racing all over the place. What size he's got. He looks a little skinny, Rich. You know?
What do you think, Eddie? Want to lift that fish?
No, I'm just going to take him and I'm going to release him right at boat side here. I'm never going to touch this fish.
That's actually a good sized fish, though.
Yeah. Well, you know, he could be a little fatter, but he's not bad. And you know, the trick with these dehookers, it's very simple. You get in the hook, and you take your other free hand and hold it below the fish. So at the weight of the fish, wiggle them right off the hook. And that's it. You never touch the fish. Better for you, better for the fish. Guys, we say we go up on this drift again. And we maybe do a little differently. You can see my half bunker floating in the water there.
Let's get back on it.
All right. Well, hooked up another fish. Rich, any weight on this one? Okay. You know, we're slowly running out of time here.
And bait.
And bait. It's nice that now Rich has to do all the work. Yeah. Time comes to net this thing or whatever. I'll be getting a net on that one.
They work for a net. The fish jumped, he's got some dirt to him.
Yeah. Once again, you know, the length isn't the thing that matters. It's how much, what they have in shoulders. Oh yeah.
Come on up here, big guy.
All right.
A little better.
A little better. Absolutely. Well, you know what? That's the right kind of fish that you're looking for. You're looking for these fish that have a little breadth to them, have a little more size. You know, that's not a bad fish. That's a fish that didn't show up yesterday. That fish has probably been here all season. What do you think, Rick?
I mean, we can put him in a well, right?
Yeah, and we'll get the weight on him after he calms down. One of the other problems people have is they try to weigh these fish sometimes. While they're still doing this, it's a very tough way to weigh a fish. You wait till they settle down, you can always weigh them later on.
So what I'm going to do is, I want to get another bunker out of this well.
And just show us how to hook that up.
All right. And what you want to do is you want to hook these light, you right, Andy?
Yeah.
You want to make sure the barb and the point is completely exposed. You can hold that fish like that, and you have enough of it exposed so when you set up on that fish, you don't have to worry about the hook coming out of the deck.
And the other thing that's important to do is you want to make sure that you hook them behind the dorsal. That way you have a chance to steer them around. And when you get out away from the boat, you sometimes give them a little tug, get them back going right in the direction. Maybe it's the fish that they were trying to run away from.
And you know these bluefish, Andy, they pursue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bass are generally always ambush feeders, but these bluefish, they pursue their baits. That's why we like keeping that hook close to the tail. Usually the first part they grab at that bugger.
Well, let's move some lines around here. Let's shift a few lines, get everything back where it needs to be.
Sam, come in net, please.
I'm out. Samantha, you have the net.
Sam, the net.
Net. Oh, that's decent. That'll work.
Oh, no, not like that, Sam. Good. Roll him out, roll him out, roll him out. What do you think? No good, Andy?
What's that?
No good?
Nice close. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's good.
Where are you?
This should be Bedlam. Hey, Rich. Just hit that net near me for now. I can't get this fish up. I mean, I can't get this fish up. You know where the hole is?
No.
He's got a lot of weight. Just gonna keep the tension off him. All right, you go fish. I got this fish. Not too shabby. He doesn't quite have the size. Close though. Look at what we have in the box. How's your fish feel, Samantha? Good?
Decent size. Look. Oh, I had two monsters right behind, man.
Yeah? Okay, hang on, I'm coming.
What do you got, Sammy? Sam, what'd you do to hook that fish up? What'd you do?
I snagged a bunker in school and I let him sit. And the fish came up and ate him.
All right, let's see if that thing's gonna need a net.
Oh, I'm in over here.
Yeah, let's see the size on it. Ah, it's pretty good. Oh no.
Well, we got 3 on, boys.
Whoa, this one's screaming drag. All right, Samantha,
You gonna help me out?
Yeah.
Rich, how's the size on yours before I tie this net up? Hang on, I'm just gonna try and get the hook out of him, Samantha. Ready? Go ahead. Re-rig. That fish wasn't big enough. It's just easier to unhook him that way than any other way.
There you go.
Oh, that's a little better fish, Rich.
Look, we'll lose him.
See if you can clear that net.
Oh, if it's something to you.
Maybe. Maybe bigger than what you have in there now. What's our time? Somebody's got to check the time.
3:15.
3:15?
Yeah.
We got about 5 minutes, guys. Well, we finally made it back to the weigh-in with 5 minutes to spare.
And
We have no fuel left in the boat.
At about 62 miles an hour.
We absolutely timed it. We got on a wild bite with, like, I don't know, half an hour left or 45 minutes left.
We battled some interesting things there. We had a tugboat almost run us over. A couple of sailboats T-boned us a few times. But,
Samantha, more fun fishing with us or more fun fishing with your dad? Which is it? Be honest.
I can't do that to him. Do this to anyone. Come on.
You know what? We barely yelled at her, and she had the biggest fish, and it did not, unfortunately, finish in the money. It was bigger than both my fish and Rich's fish. We had a great time.
Yeah. We usually fare pretty well in these tournaments, but I mean, this was tough. This was definitely tough. You know, we had a very limited amount of time to fish the way we ran. We had some sailboat encounters, some tugboat encounters.
One of our cameramen brought a banana aboard
yes, this is
early
true.
in the morning.
This is
And that certainly had Samantha off her game almost the rest of the day. Yeah.
Whether or not he wants to admit it or not, it is taboo to bring a banana on the boat, but it happened.
But either way, we had a great time. Thanks, Samantha.
Thank you, guys.
No, I appreciate it. You were great today, I'll tell you.
And I hope you come out with us again. And, you know, we do fish together all the time. I would love to fish joints with you, but I got a feeling your dad's like, yeah.
Thank you for watching. You can use the buttons below to subscribe to our YouTube channel, watch more videos, or to learn more about the location, techniques, and gear as seen in this video.